Keyfree picks up a pen, draws a symbol on a broken floorboard, and it fixes itself. A pen, some ink, the right symbol in the right shape. That night, Coco picks up the pen a mysterious witch gave her as a child. She had always thought it was a wand. She opens the ink. She starts copying seals from the picture book that came with it. The first one glows, and she keeps going until her room fills up with paper. Every single spell came from the same 3 components. And once you see how they fit together, the whole world of this show changes. Every spell in this world is called a casting seal. The sigil sits at the center. It determines what type of magic you are working with. The signs surround the sigil and control what the magic actually does. The ring closes around everything and makes the spell fire. Start with the sigil. There are many, but 4 form the foundation of almost every spell a witch will ever draw. Witches call them the primary tetrad: water, flame, levitation, earth. Water commands everything from a gentle mist to a powerful stream. The vapor bubble Tetia shows Coco early on pulls moisture straight from the air. The water shot that drenched Agot runs on the same sigil. Flame is the most dangerous of the 4. Keyfree singles it out specifically because fire is a formless phenomenon. Draw it at the wrong size, get the balance off, and it burns the paper before the spell can even fire. But in the right hands, a fire sigil combined with a spiraling wind sign becomes a flaming twister. Levitation handles everything that moves through the air. Flying shoes run on a levitation sigil. So does Coco's improvised cloak sail during the apprentice trial. And earth moves terrain. When the 4 apprentices are cornered in a stone labyrinth, it is an earth spell that cuts their way out. The primary tetrad is where most witches begin. Beyond it, the system keeps going. Sigils can layer, combine, and build into something far more complex than any single element. Tetia has dreamed of napping on a cloud since she was a child. She built a spell for it herself. When she and the other apprentices finally turned it into the serpent's bed of sand in the labyrinth, it combined earth, collection, and repetition all at once. The sigil is the easy part. Pick your element, draw the symbol. The signs are where everything gets interesting. Coco draws her first water spell, gets one line slightly too long, and immediately soaks agate. Not the intended outcome, but an educational one. The pressure balance on that side of the seal shifts, and the water corrects toward the longer line. When her flying shoes get waterlogged during the apprentice trial, Coco draws a wind spell on her cloak. The cloak becomes a sail. The ring is the last piece. Until it closes, a spell does nothing. The moment it completes, the spell fires. Which means witches can prepare spells well in advance and choose exactly when to activate them. Witch flying shoes work on this principle. The seal is divided between the left sole and the right. Feet apart, the ring stays open and nothing happens. Press your feet together, the ring completes, and you lift off. Keyfree's window way uses the same idea at a larger scale. Rings of symbols rotate into different configurations, each combination leading to a different destination. You can also draw an entire spell in advance with a small gap left in the ring. When you need it, one dot of ink closes the ring. Agot's palm notebook in the Dragon Labyrinth works exactly this way. So does Tetia's cloud spell. So does every spell Keyfree fires when there is no time to think. There is one more thing a witch can do with a spell. Draw it onto an object and leave it there permanently. Keyfree has a sword called the Rain Cleaver. The blade is covered in tiny seals, all linked together, that give it the ability to part any liquid the blade touches. Every seal on that blade is small on its own, but linked together, a chain of small seals produces more power than a single large one could in the same space. A spell, drawn onto an object like this is called a contraption. The object carries the magic on its own, no active casting required. The flying shoes are a contraption, so is the window way. Orugio carries a portable version that sends the others straight from the atelier to a riverbank in seconds. So is the magic cook pot that keeps food fresh by replaying the moment it was cooked. 2 rules that apply to every seal, whether cast once or built into an object. Larger seals hit harder, more carefully drawn seals last longer. And Coco realised all of this on her very first night. When the flying shoes break during the apprentice trial, Coco copies the same spell onto her cloak instead. The larger surface produces a stronger effect. She sails through the air on it. Precision matters just as much as size. A spell drawn under the wrong conditions can collapse entirely. Kefri has Coco heat a yam with fire magic. The yam is too heavy. It smothers the flame before it can do anything. One boundary the system enforces absolutely. No spell may be drawn directly on a living body. Transformation, healing, age manipulation, all of it is forbidden. There is one exception, memory erasure. The only spell permitted to work directly on a living person. But the foundation never changes. A sigil, signs, and a ring waiting to close.